Hello, everyone. Good morning to you all. Thanks for joining in for the live stream today. My name is Tushar, and I'll be hosting this Hangout today for the Google Partners Program. A few house tips before we can go ahead. Please do change your video quality to 360p or higher in the bottom right of your video to see the presentation clearly. And you can do that in the video settings in the bottom right I mentioned. And remember, you can ask live questions on the right-hand side chat, and we'll definitely try to take as many as possible towards the end of the presentation. Right? Great. So I will be discussing branding on Google today using YouTube. Now, a branding would be something that, in terms of video, we always think, is it a mystery that an advertiser can solve, or is it something that we can actually master well enough? Well, let's see if we can actually run you through a very quick guide into what exactly you should be doing going forward in making sure that your branding exercises using YouTube are successful. A quick video, actually, there'll be a few videos coming up in this particular deck, and would be great if you guys can actually catch them once you have a hold of the deck and you can actually see these videos on YouTube, and you'll actually know exactly the kind of things I'm going to be talking about today. Now, starting off with what exactly would comprise of a YouTube brand campaign that you have in terms of the life cycle of your campaigns. Now, this is something we always follow as a basis of what you want to do going forward with that campaign. So it has three basic stages. The first one being the story of your launch, the second one being the story of sustenance of your campaigns, and the third being story of 52 weeks, which is essentially the year that follows. Now, we'll keep going through each and every story one by one, and I'll actually guide you through what are the various kinds of tools you can use through AdWords for video, and actually use them for your own benefit in terms of branding on Google, right? So let's skip right into the first one, which is story of the campaign launch, the first stage of our branding campaigns. Integrating media planning in terms of planning what exactly you would be doing in each stage is what I'm going to be going forward with, and you can definitely choose either few or all of the tools we will be using today. Right? So the front page of digital video. So whenever you log into youtube.com or you actually open the YouTube app on your phones or your tablets, that's the face of the tool, that's YouTube. And you would have seen cross banners right in front there. Those are known as mastheads. Now, mastheads are actually available on a reservation basis, where you would be paying per day for these mastheads, and you will need to be booking them in advance. But they definitely look like this. How you can see one of the movie promotions happening over here using a brand as well. These could be still banners. It could have animation in it. It could be moving banners, or you can actually even create engagement ads in terms of light box ads, customize them according to engagement to your kind of audiences, and run them on the homepage of YouTube. Now, there are also TV-like ads where ads you can't skip, that is pre-roll ads that run before any video on YouTube. You must be seeing that there are videos that come through before every video, right? Those are known as pre-roll ads, and they could be up to 20 or 30 seconds. These will be charged to you on cost per impression, which in this case would be a view, where whenever someone views the ad. Now, since these would be these again would be something which is reservation bias, so it does not run with the skip ad button. These are non-skippable ads. And in terms of an impression in this would actually be a view, because if someone is going through to it, they actually see the 30 seconds or 20 seconds or whatever the ad is, the length of the ad, and will be charged only when they have seen this. So these sort of give you a guaranteed view because it's a non-skippable ad. Now, these could be targeted using a lot of, an array of targeting methods like topic or affinity audiences. We'll be and prime packs and demographics, geographic device, etc. We'll be going through each of these a little later on in this deck. Now, in terms of pricing, you'd think, what are the usual pricings like for such reservation campaigns? They would start somewhere around 440 rupees cost per mil. That essentially is cost per 1,000 impressions. So you probably end up paying about upwards of 440 rupees for about 1,000 impressions on such a video. Next, we can actually extend your TV creative. Basically having a longer ad like you usually do on TV as well. However, this would more be now like a skippable ad, where it has the skip button coming up after the first 5 seconds of the ad. Now, these could go up to let's say 60 seconds or so. And again, these will be cost per view. where in this case, your view is counted as something where someone views your video entirely, or they view the video up to 30 seconds, whatever comes first. So let's say you have about a 25-second ad. In that case, you'll only be charged when 25 seconds of the ad is being viewed first. Or let's say if it's a longer ad, let's say about 60 seconds if you're using up, it'll be if someone views the first 30 seconds of the ad is when you will be charged, right? Again, the targeting methods would be similar in this as well. And the advantage here that you have the first 5 seconds, which is guaranteed to you, as opposed to the unskippable, non-skippable ads where the entire view is guaranteed. Here, the first 5 seconds is. So probably something that you can make off the first 5 seconds would be great, right? Now, your own brand's full story that they won't skip, which is essentially a true view. You can have not only up to 30 seconds, you can have a longer video as well. Now, this is the same case. However, like I mentioned, 30 seconds is just the barrier that we have in terms of charging you. You could definitely have a longer video as well, where you're actually running a video, probably, let's say, a promotion of about 2 to 3 minutes if you have a longish advertisement, or you have shorter versions of it. You can actually run each of these on through a true view ad, which people can skip after 5 seconds. But again, it definitely depends on the creators to see if we actually can hold the user till later on to see the entire creative. Okay, now coming up with something very interesting actually here, it's called bumper ads. Now you can actually bump your reach up with these small ads. Now these are, when I say small ads, I mean short ads up to 6 seconds. Now, like how I mentioned earlier that the skip button usually comes up to 5 seconds, and that's a guaranteed view. Well, here there's no skip button that comes. You have 6 seconds to yourself. It's non-skippable, and 6 seconds to actually tell the users your story. Now, these run pre-roll, that is before the video starts, and actually can have great impact if the 6 seconds have been utilized very, very well. We'll have a few examples of these ads coming up whenever you get your hands on this presentation. All right, and these usually cost you, again, it'll be cost per view when someone views the 6 seconds of your ad, and a usual cost estimated would be around 50 paise. All right, let's go ahead with general tips in terms of these campaigns. What are the hygiene tips that I would recommend you to make sure that you have? Make sure that the titles are enough in terms of more crisp. They're not full of too many jargons. They make a point when someone has to actually view these videos. If they have to click on this video, make sure that it has enough context within, let's say, about 5 to 10 words to explain what it is about. Make sure the thumbnails are not odd thumbnails from within the video. You can choose out of let's say about 3 to 5 thumbnails the system generates, or you can upload a thumbnail of your own to make sure that you're not uploading one that may not give the right picture of what the creative is about, right? As well as the description, make sure that descriptions have enough context of your video. Along with that, you can actually run cards and annotations along with these, where it gives enough information about your video. Any additional information that has to go through can go in these cards and annotations that come below. Right? Okay, great. So we always say think mobile first. You know what? We just change it around. We now say think mobile always. Do you have assets for mobile? Is it your primary, if it's your primary device category that you want to choose actually, then make sure that you have a few things sorted out in terms of your videos, right? Is your primary message visible on the mobile screen in portrait? A lot of people choose to view their actual content in the portrait mode of their mobile because they think it just shows a wider view. Well, you have to make sure that if someone has turned their phone, flipped their phone around, they're getting enough video, and it's not like your video text is very small that they can't read when it's expanded. Make sure the video is not going out of its borders so that whenever they expand, they're not able to see it properly. Make sure your video has subtitles. When you talk about the smaller screen, we always say that audio, even if it's legible sometimes, subtitles always aid in reading the content or at least hearing out the content of the video. And make sure that the branding of your your own brand logos, etc., are visible on a smaller screen. We're talking about when it could be a device that could be as small as a 4-inch screen cross, as well as going up to 6 to 7 inches. So make sure that you're covered for each and every kind of device over there, right? And like I mentioned, fonts and everything would definitely be a big part of it. Now, just a few checklists of your launch in terms of what are the kind of things we mentioned. So integrated media plans in terms of non-skippable, skippable, TV, social, print, and just try to see the kind of impacts you can do through your mastheads, right? Because like I mentioned, masthead being a big branding activity where someone opens the homepage of YouTube in your region and they see your ad for the entire day, right? You can build really massive reach in terms of bumpers because they're quick ads that actually show before videos, and they could be more impact in terms of more frequency of such ads playing, right? Of course, don't forget the hygiene points that I mentioned. And yes, mobile, mobile, mobile. Great. With that, we come to the end of the first section. We'll move on to the second stage, which is the story of your sustenance of this branding campaign and the brand. Right now, when you say you can add free, I'm really sorry to actually continue so fast. If you guys had any questions regarding the first section of your the story of the timeline of a branding campaign, please feel free to drop it in the chat section on the right. I'll definitely try to take as many as possible towards the end of this video. And please do so after every section. If you have any questions, we'll definitely take them on, right? Okay, so in terms of sustenance, you can actually add free OTS and new audiences. Now, when I say OTS, it simply means opportunity to show, right? We've already spoken about this in terms of our first section, which we said, skippable ads. Now, why it becomes so important in the TrueView section, in the sustenance section, is because this is where you want to make sure that the branding that you did in the beginning is getting you enough recall, and it has built that brand for a longer period of time than just for a shorter period of time, right? When your ads show in terms of TrueView, which is your skippable ads, make sure that you make most of the first 5 seconds. Now, look at it this way. You're not paying for the first 5 seconds, right? If someone skips after 5 seconds, you're not paying us for an impression in that case. However, if you actually deliver your message in the first 5 seconds, that's a free impression for you in that case. You've gotten your message across. If in case they were actually very interested, they would have been seen through the ad as well. But at least you know that the first 5 seconds is guaranteed, right? It really helps you build new audiences through this first 5 seconds, 5 golden seconds that come before a skip button actually comes up, right? Now, again, there will be videos coming through for these as well, where you can actually see how the first 5 seconds have been used in a longer ad per se, right? Creating a video creative for bumpers, let's move on to bumpers, is not that big a challenge. You have 6 seconds, so you don't have too much to think about, but making sure that you're delivering the message very, very clearly, and it's a sharp message that stays in a user's mind, right? Try to see what are the things that actually are the most important when it comes to your brand, right? This is why we can actually skim through a list of things that we may be talking about a brand to just a few 2 to 3 points that can be clearly standing out as the biggest call out for your particular brand. Now, these could align to your own brand's motto. It could align to the taglines. It could align to the current offers that are playing. For example, like you can see in this particular video for SpiceJet, there are 50% hot meals. So this might be an offer that's going right now, or low fares, right? So you could plan out your bumpers accordingly, where you can actually say, this could be something which tells more about my brand, or tells something very, very recent and current about my brand in terms of an offer, etc. Now, video views, in terms of TrueView, you can actually now get more optimized, or rather more customized ads in terms of videos, where you can actually have TrueView app install ads that run, there will be a video ad, and at the end of it, you actually see an option for the user to install that. So let's say I'm actually using an Apple a phone over here, an iPhone over here, and I see an ad on the YouTube app on my phone. And at the end of the ad, I actually see an option to install it. So that actually gives me that option to, after interacting with my brand, actually go and install their app as well, right? Similar goes for betas. We do have similar betas going on for YouTube TrueView working with shopping, where actually a shopping ad can actually show next to it, where it can entice a user to interact with your ads, directly click and go through to buy something on your website. So like they say, a picture can speak 1,000 words, a video can actually speak 1,000,000 of them, right? And through those 1,000,000 words, you can actually get users to actually make an action on the ad and turn out to be something more fruitful in terms of an app install, or probably a sale for you, right? And remember, the targeting is very critical. There have been a few myths that we usually are clouded by when it comes to video ads, because they're very similar to TV ads. The first being prime time is a big gopher in terms of targeting. It may not be true. We're talking about living in a digital age where users are interacting with media probably more than just the 2 hours in the evening that we call as prime time, right? These are anywhere and everywhere. In transit, they're dealing with media on their mobile phones or their tablets. They're actually doing it at work along with their work machines, as well as they have multiple machines as well as phones. They're doing it while they're watching TV. So you're not waiting for an commercial break coming in between a cricket match. You're actually talking about people who are watching a cricket match. They're viewing their phones at that very moment and may just be interacting with your media. So it's not that we will be, prime time is a big chance for us to go. With digital, prime time is every time, right? And secondly, with demographics, usually when we traditionally think about targeting, we generally say we go with demographics, saying, we will target this age range in terms of males. Um, with YouTube branding, with YouTube ads, you can actually go deeper into it. You can't actually stop at just saying, I want to target a 31-year-old male. You can actually go deeper into finding out, I want to target a 31-year-old male with interest in sports and actually who's in a particular location as well. So you're getting the best of demographics as well as the other targeting methods that YouTube has to offer. So like I mentioned at the beginning, we do have various targeting methods. In this case, this is the Prime packs that I had mentioned initially. You can avail YouTube packs by speaking with your account managers at Google, where you will be seeing certain kinds of packs which contain targeting methods combined together. And these may align with your brand as well. So for example, if you're talking about an entertainment brand, you could definitely avail something like a Bollywood songs and trailers pack, where the kind of videos that will be targeted on YouTube will videos where songs and trailers of Bollywood movies and albums are actually hosted. So that gives you that very direct targeting in terms of finding out where to show your video best. Now, when I spoke about demographics not being the only way to go about targeting, this is what exactly I was talking about. We're talking about consumer and their affinities along with what exactly they like doing, right? We can actually on YouTube ads target people with the points of their passion. Like I mentioned, they could be sports lovers, they could actually be photography buffs, they could be travel savvy people, they would be interested in arts and entertainment, they would be enthusiasts of outdoor activities, they could be adventure lovers, or they could be luxury shoppers, things like that. So you can actually go deeper into what are the kind of affinities that we are targeting here, what are the interests of people that we're actually targeting. So you go deeper into just actually telling them the gender and age of a particular person who you want to see your ad. Now, like I mentioned, a few examples of these would be like, for cooking enthusiasts, you can actually target people who are cooking enthusiasts with videos, let's say cookery videos. Similar for automotive as well, where if your brand is dealing with automotive cars and everything like that, you can actually target auto enthusiasts, etc., etc. Now, how would you know if you're making a difference with these ads? How would you know whether or not your branding is actually working? Well, so these are few tools in AdWords itself that we offer you, where you can actually run few surveys in terms of brand recall and awareness of your particular campaigns, how the campaigns actually helped in driving your brand through. Were they actually very useful in terms of for users to actually remember your brand, or was it something would just add on to it and they were actually reinstating the recall of your brand? So a lot of things that you can actually gauge through these reports is like, say ad recall, brand awareness, the consideration, the favorability of a user to buy or use your brand, or purchasing intent, if whether or not they would have an intent to purchase with your brand post these branding activities. Now, you can actually measure these, like I mentioned, through surveys. So, just how ads work, there would be YouTube surveys running before videos where users would be subject to such questions. For example, if you see here, which is the following you see on online video advertising for recently, right? So we're actually telling them which of the ads actually have you been seeing of late. Let's say if Google has been running ads for 4 of its product, we're actually reaching out to users to find out which ones are the ones they're actually seeing more. And at the end of this particular survey, we actually get enough data to understand if they're actually getting each or any of the various attributes we were targeting in terms of ad recall, awareness, consideration, favorability, or purchase intent. Now, you can actually measure the increase in brand interest directly through your YouTube campaigns or even your display campaigns, actually. Now, similarly, like I said, these surveys do run and find out much more about your advertising activity and how it's directly related to the increase in branding that actually helped your brand increase its stake in terms of interest within the users, the recall that's coming through, and things like that. Now, you can actually see data within YouTube as well. You have YouTube analytics on your accounts where you can actually see organic as well as advertising data through your videos. So you can see how much has the interest changed pre and post your branding campaigns, and how much has your channel organically also benefited from the ads that you had run at some point in time in the 3 stages of the campaign, like we mentioned. Okay, with that, we're coming towards the end of sustenance. Let's quickly go through the checklist. You have free opportunity to show, that's the OTS, and a lot more new audiences to actually go for. You can go for bumpers which are independent in themselves in terms of what they actually want to feature. Would it be a recent campaign that you're running, or more of a holistic branding activity? Now, you can target much smarter with not just targeting the prime time and the demographics, but going deeper into the kind of people who you want to show your ads to. You can leverage beta tools like we had for app install and for shopping, like I mentioned, or you can actually say you can combine 2 aspects of AdWords, which is YouTube video ads as well as app install ads together. And you can measure impact through free research studies that we allow you to run on your campaigns and see how much actually you made out of these particular branding campaigns. And yeah, we just like to end each segment by saying a word that you have to do: optimize, optimize, optimize. Right? Cool. We'll be going forward with the story of 52 weeks, which essentially is the year that follows. If you guys had any questions regarding the previous 2 segments, please do drop in the chat window on the right side, and I'll be happy to take them at the end of this deck. All right, now we're talking about a longer term campaign where you want to make sure that your brand is visible throughout. You may not be going as aggressive on the branding as you probably did in the first 2 stages, but you want to make sure that you remain in the minds of users, right? And through these kind of campaigns, you can actually see how much of user intent you're actually targeting. Now, if you see the screenshots in front of you right now, you'll notice that these are certain ads which are known as video discovery ads, so essentially work very similar to how Google search works. When someone searches for a particular keyword, the first two videos that they see are actually advertisements. They run through your AdWords for video and would be based on what the people are searching for. So if you see they're talking about, for example, they're actually talking about a particular beauty product and how to apply it, and you'll see beauty brands coming up with their own videos that they actually run on YouTube as well. So these may not be branding videos, but they are actually steps or guides that they're running on their own YouTube channel, and they're targeting through these. So these are longer term interests where you are actually engaging with the advertisers in a different, engaging with the users in a different way, and you're still getting to capture that user audience who's actually even searching for similar business audiences or business verticals going forward. Now, you could be having different kind of user timelines as well. What are the user, what stage is the user in terms of your brand? You may have run a branding campaign at a certain point in time, but you can never know whether a user was a part of each of the steps. So you could be talking about users actually researching about your product or service and intending to buy. So they're actually aware of who you are, or rather they're aware of that particular product and service that is being sold, and they're actually researching amongst the various sellers, right? Or they could have a similar profile to your current or potential customer. So you've had a customer base already. These could be these people could be similar to those, and it's something that definitely is potential to tap on. And or you could have people who've engaged with your business already but did not actually go the long way to convert for you, did not make a purchase, did not actually sign up for anything that your business was offering. So what are the kind of things that we can actually use for these businesses, for these kind of use cases? First is it's a interest category targeting method. Just like Affinity, we have something called in-market audiences, right? This reaches the users that are likely to buy in the near future. And when I say buy, we're talking about specific kind of products. So we could be targeting people with the kind of products or services they are researching to buy. So an auto enthusiast could be, probably downloading pictures of sports cars or watching videos about the fastest cars. Now, does that give us a bit of an idea of what this person may be intending to buy? Of course, yes. However, it's not something we can definitely say that they are actually going to buy because they're downloading videos. But if they're actually visiting auto aggregator sites, like trying to buy cars online, or rather going for, let's say, any kind of automotive sites like secondhand cars or etc., or they're trying to build, trying to see if there are safety features that they can compare between one car and another. They're going to websites where gives more information about a car. So those are actual indicators of whether or not they're actually intending or researching to buy a particular product here, right? In this case, an automotive manufacturer could definitely target these people in an in-market interest category, and should be good to go in that sense. Now, if you're talking about similar audiences, like I mentioned in the second type of users we had here, where you have already created a user base that have been, let's say, past buyers for you. They have their customers already in your existing customer list. They're high-value customers, but you want to reach out to more people like them. You can actually upload an email list, which is called a customer match list, onto your remarketing section of the account, which is your shared library in AdWords, and we'll create similar audience lists for you for that. The AdWords system creates similar audiences based on the people who are already there in your list, and you can actually target those people. And these similar audience lists will typically be about 30x the amount of the list that you have uploaded, right? So let's say if you upload about 1,000 email addresses, this can take you about 30,000 more. So definitely going for people who are very similar in online activity, etc., or interests. This would be great to expand your user base in terms of finding more people to actually engage or buy with your brand. Again, this is the same. This is going a little deeper into what I mentioned when you say customer match for TrueView, where you're actually reaching out to people who are similar to people you uploaded. So let's say, for example, our first user here is a basic card holder with good credit, upsells with Go Reward cards, right? You can actually reach out to these kind of people. So you have a list of users segregated in your own sense. We're not talking about similar people here. We're just talking about customer match, where you have, let's say, a list of 10,000 people that have been your customers already. You can segregate them into, let's say, different kinds, and you can target each segment of this segregated users, different kind of ads, and you know that they're actually more targeted in this case, because let's say, for example, the gentleman on the left is a Gold Reward user, and the lady on the right is probably already the first one is a basic card holder, and the lady on the right is a gold card holder. You know that you have to pitch the first gentleman here a gold card, and the first and the last lady over here would probably get more awareness messages about what she can do about their gold card, because they already have the topmost product that you're selling, but it's something that they would want to know more about and how they can use. So the different kind of messaging definitely works here. So like I said, the three kind of users, the first user would be you would be targeting in-market audiences with. The second kind of users would be similar audiences of your existing customers. And the third kind of users who are already aware of your business, but they're not actively converting, you would actually remarket them with the customer match, where you can actually show them tailored ads and show them what they want, right? So this is the checklist for our last section, which is always on, where your campaigns go on for the next 1 year as well. Make sure that you're banking on the YouTube search, making sure you're showing ads to people who are actively searching about certain things related to your products or services, or actually searching about your product as well. Target the consumer moments, where you're actually trying to see where a user is in their particular journey with your brand, and target them accordingly. Show them those ads, show them the right messaging through your ads, and find the right advocates of showing these messages through the various targeting methods that we have. Great. So we'll quickly move on to the questions that we've had till now. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to add them right now, as we'll be taking them for some time. First question is, can we use regional languages, for example, Malayalam, in ad text and images? So right now, we don't actually have support for regional languages on YouTube. You can currently only advertise using English and Hindi in terms of Indian languages. And you can see a various when you set up a campaign, you see a language section. You will be able to see what are the languages you can actually use in your ads, in terms of the creative copies, which are the videos, as well as the text that is go along with it. And Malayalam currently is not a part of it, but if definitely we do have expansions in terms of languages, do watch out the space. We'll get you more information on that. Second question is, can you suggest an average CPV to bid for video view ads? Now, like I mentioned, it definitely depends on the kind of ads that we're using. When you talk about bumper ads, like I mentioned, a point 0.5, which is 50 paise, CPV is pretty much the estimated ones we usually see. But in terms of CPVs, we always do recommend that we do have very dynamic CPVs according to the competition. So try to see what are the targeting methods you're using. If you're targeting a very niche kind of audience, which let's say is just one or two kind of affinity audiences or in-market audiences, then you would require a higher CPV to go for, because your targeting is slightly low. So if you have to just target those people, we would say that you can go for a higher bid. But as opposed to probably a wider audience that you're targeting, let's say just about demographics and few, let's say if you add a few hundred channels that you want to show ads on, then that's a very wide targeting as well. So probably go with a slightly lower bid in that case. However, it definitely depends on the kind of ads also. So shorter ads, 6 seconds bumper ads, would go with somewhere 0.5 to 1 on an average video. Can go up to about 2 to 3 rupees as well, if in case you're talking about tight targeting. But it all depends on the combination of ads and targeting that you're using, and of course the competition. Okay, how to calculate ROI in YouTube ads? Now, like I mentioned, it depends on the stage again of what stage of branding you're in. When you're talking about basic branding in the beginning, where you're just going um, very high on just branding tools and branding messages going across, you can't directly measure an ROI there, because you're talking about people engaging with your brand. However, when you're talking about more action specific ads, such as app install, mobile app install with YouTube, we're talking about shopping with YouTube to view, those you can actually target in terms of finding an ROI, because you're expecting the user to actually return an action after the video ad is there. However, for the rest of the types of ads, like I mentioned, being branding, we won't go for the return on the investment as such. However, we'll go with how much it has impacted and helped us in terms of a longer term branding. When we talk about ad recall, awareness of the brand recall, etc., through the various brand surveys that we do run on AdWords. So yeah, ROI would be very specific to ads that are expected to get you a return. But with branding campaigns as a whole, I would rather say that we should take an opportunity to actually see the impact in terms of the brand attributes that it's getting you, rather than the return on investment. How many types of ads are available in YouTube? So we do have, like I mentioned, YouTube TrueView ads that are skippable, right? Then we have unskippable ads that go on reservation basis. We have masthead ads. We have YouTube TrueView app install. We have YouTube TrueView for shopping, bumper ads, and we have video discovery ads. Right? If there are any other betas coming through, you'll definitely be able to see them through our YouTube blogs as well. You'll be informed of those, or through your account managers, if there are any betas coming through. But these are the ones that run currently. What types of ads are best converting ads? I would say, like I said, when you're talking about a conversion, we need to define it in a way. If you're talking about a direct action like an app install or a purchase in the site, then yes, definitely it'll be TrueView for shopping or TrueView for app install. But if you're talking about conversion being a user who's actually becoming a longer term consumer or a consumer of our brand, would not directly have a conversion coming through the ads, but more through your brand attributes that you can calculate using your surveys. Any more questions? Please feel free to add them on the chat. You would be receiving the this particular presentation deck at the end soon after we are done with the Hangout on Air series, and you will find videos, links, and various studies within these as well. So you can definitely go through these, and if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us and your account managers, and we'll be definitely happy to take them forward. But yes, you will be receiving these resources through us. Okay, great. Thanks a lot for joining in, guys. Do stay tuned for our session tomorrow around the same time. And any questions, just feel free to reach out to us or your account managers, and we'll be glad to take them forward. Wishing you all a good luck for your branding campaigns, and let's hope we make YouTube a success for you and your businesses as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.